What's going on, friends?
Week 2.
Week 2, and we're both here.
Again.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
We
Just
did
the
that on
two of
a
us.
past live stream.
Hey.
That was like one of our first
Hey.
live streams,
Oh.
and now look at us. We're
Look at
here
us.
and matching.
Look at us. We're
Unintentionally,
matching.
but we're kind of here. So.
It is what it is,
Yes.
friends.
But today we are going to be talking about community.
Community.
This is going to be a good talk.
Jeez.
But speaking of community, before we get into the lesson and everything, I have a question for you guys. A little icebreaker question for you.
Break the ice.
Break it. Nice. So, think about all the cartoon friendships that you know out there. Could be anime, could be just a regular cartoon, anyone out there. So think of the best friends that you know. What are a pair of best friends that you would want to be friends with?
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, you have to be part of their group.
Yeah, like you're the
It's
third
just,
member.
Just the two?
Yeah, the two of them.
Only two. It can't be a group.
I mean, should we do a group?
Because you said community, so you
I
know.
did. That is more than two
it's not a
people.
pair.
I mean, unless you want two people
know.
in your community.
That's a tough
Okay,
one.
and any
Has to be
amount of
cartoon.
friends. Yes, as long as it's cartoon. That's the one I'm not gonna change.
It has to be a cartoon.
Yes.
Oh, dang. Cartoon. Oh, I know who it is. I know mine.
What would you do?
I'll do Rugrats.
Okay.
Rugrats.
Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah, if you don't know Rugrats, you need to search that up. Rugrats. Or even Hey Arnold.
That one I didn't watch.
Oh my
I know Rugrats though. Do 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 do.
Hey. Hey. Alright.
I think I would SpongeBob and Patrick.
SpongeBob and Patrick's?
Yeah.
SpongeBob and Patrick's?
I love laughing and I feel like they'd be a great time.
You think so?
I
But you
mean-
would have to hold your breath the whole time though. No, but
Or I
you
could
can
be
be
like Sandy.
Hey.
In a little bubble.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
put yours down below. Let us know who you'd be friends with. I think
Because
we'd
why?
be
We're in the
people.
chat, bro. We're in the chat. Let us know. Talk
We're
to
saying
us.
hi literally right now.
Talk to us. Talk to us. Who would you want to be friends with?
Yeah.
In a cartoon. Has to be a pair or a community.
I think
But it
mine's
has
cool.
to be in a cartoon or an anime.
Yeah. If I were to go anime, I might have said like Gon and Killua.
Oh.
That's a cool friendship. I like
That's
that.
a scary one to be
It
honest,
is,
though.
but
That's-
I like them as friends.
I feel like you would be like dragging them down though, you know? Because like you have no powers. You're just average. They're kids with like super strength and powers. I think for me, I would be like in One Piece. I'd be like with the Straw Hat crew.
I was about to say his name, but I don't even know it to be honest. But yeah,
Why do you not know?
I'm sorry, I don't watch anime like that. But we are gonna get into our lesson today about community. So we will see you guys afterwards.
After the break.
Hey, I'm Shane. Quick question for you. When was the last time that you made a new friend? Just think about that for a second. You got it? Okay, maybe it was when you started school this year, or became a part of a new team, or you joined your small group here at church. Maybe it was even this week. Well, I don't know about you, but I get super excited when I make a new friend. Meeting that new person, it usually means a lot of other new things are coming my way too, like new interests that they can share with me, new inside jokes that just us can laugh about, new music that we can discover together. New friends have a way of influencing a lot of things about our lives. I mean, I know that's been true for me. I've got a friend named Kyle, and I'll never forget when we first met. I had no idea the kind of impact that he would have on my life. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. I mean, isn't it true that people just have a way of influencing us more than we even realize? In fact, people can actually play a really important role in growing our faith. Think about it. Whenever we hear about someone's journey toward growing their faith, we usually hear them talk about a relationship. And I don't just mean their relationship with God, I mean their relationship with other people. Maybe that's been true for you too. If you consider yourself a follower of Jesus, maybe you'd say it was a parent or a grandparent or a sibling or a teacher who told you about Jesus for the very first time. I mean, maybe you had a friend who invited you to church. Maybe you have a small group leader who's helped you figure out what you believe. Or maybe someone you don't even really know that well has influenced your faith in really big ways. Maybe it was someone on Instagram, or a celebrity you love, or an athlete that you follow, or a person that you discovered on TikTok. Maybe their story helped you connect some dots in your own faith. And even if you're not sure what you believe yet, I bet you can name one person in your life who seems to care a lot about their own faith. Maybe there's something about the way that they treat other people, or the way that they act, or the things that they say that just seem different to you. There's something about the way they live that makes you wonder why they are the way that they are. Or even if you could be a little bit more like them too. Have you ever thought about that? Well, no matter what this looks like for you, the chances are good that you're sitting here right now because of at least one other person in your life. Someone who invited you, or included you, or inspired you. Someone who has encouraged you or made a difference in your life. If that's true for you, here's what I want you to know about that. It's how God planned it. Isn't that awesome? God designed human beings to be in relationship with other people, in families, in friendships, on teams, in small groups. God made us to live, grow, and develop our faith alongside each other, to influence each other's lives and faiths in a positive way. Now, some of you may look around at the people in your life and think, I don't know anyone who's growing in their faith. How am I supposed to find someone to help me do that? Or maybe you think, I'm only in middle school. I'm still figuring out what I believe. Am I supposed to be helping someone else do that right now too? Either way, this doesn't sound easy. Don't worry, friends. It's okay to feel that way too. If God wants our faith to grow and other people are supposed to play a part in that, how do we connect the dots between the two? Do we sit around and wait for someone who loves Jesus to come into our lives? Do we have to go out there and find somebody else's faith to influence? Are we just supposed to hope and pray that we make the right friends or meet the right group of people? Do we just hope to find a group leader who wants to help us? Or is there something more that we can do to connect the dots? This is actually a really great thing to stop and think about. Because whether you realize it or not, you have a choice about who you let influence your life. And just like the right people can move your faith in a positive direction, the wrong people can move your faith in a negative direction. In other words, the relationships in your life are powerful. And if God made relationships as something that can grow our faith, we want to be careful about the ones that are influencing what we believe. Today, we're going to look at some wisdom from a man named Solomon. Why do we care what he said about all this? Well, for a couple of reasons. First, Solomon was a king, which is pretty cool if you ask me. And second, he was known to be the wisest man who lived at the time. Thousands of years ago, when he lived and ruled, Solomon was known for giving really good, wise, and solid advice. A lot of it is recorded in the Bible. And that's actually where we're gonna find some of his advice on relationships today. So let's take a look. Solomon wrote this: "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." It's pretty simple, right? Solomon basically said that we all have a choice. We can be the kind of person who hangs with the wise, or we can be the kind of person who spends time with the fools. Now, these words are really important here. A wise person isn't someone who is super smart or knows all these random facts. I mean, that's cool, but that's not what he's talking about. A wise person is someone who makes really good, healthy decisions. And a fool is just the opposite. They're someone who doesn't always use good judgment and makes decisions that aren't so great. We get to choose which one we want to spend our time with and which one we want to be. Honestly, I want to be wise. And I think most of you probably do too. So what do we do to become wise? Well, as Solomon put it, we have to walk with the wise. We have to spend time with the people who are making good, healthy choices. We have to spend time with the kind of people who will help make us better. Because if we don't, well, then we risk letting our lives be influenced by fools. This whole thing meant so much to Solomon that he actually put it another way later on in Proverbs. He says, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Solomon was painting a picture that back then would have made a lot of sense. There were people in his culture who spent a lot of time working with metals like iron, and often they'd use iron against iron to sharpen it, to form it into what they were making it to be. Let me show you what I mean. I love to cook. Okay, who am I kidding? I really love to eat. And one of the most important tools in a cook's kitchen is a good, sharp knife. And the best way to sharpen a metal blade is actually against something else that's metal. And don't try this at home, it's dangerous. In fact, I'm not even sure I should be doing it. This is a little scary, so I'm just gonna set it here. But here's the deal. The reason this works, well, like Solomon told us, metal sharpens metal, or iron sharpens iron. And the same is true with relationships. In the same way, a wise person in your life can help you grow into the person that you were made to be. The right person can encourage you, influence you, support you, and challenge you as you grow in your faith. See, if we want to connect the dots to help grow our relationship with God, then we need the help of people around us to do it. People can grow your faith. God created us to be in relationship with other people, to have family members and friends and teammates and coaches and small group leaders to help us grow in our faith and develop a deeper relationship with God, to influence us to keep learning, keep growing, and keep connecting the dots in a way that will lead to a stronger faith. Remember, I told you about Kyle a little bit earlier? Well, he was that person for me. And you know how he did it? In the most important times in my life, he showed up. He walked through life with me. He was just there to be a great friend and to remind me that God was with me too. And that changed everything for me. When I look back, I see how God used Kyle in my life to grow my faith, because people can grow your faith. That has certainly been the case in my life, and I think it can be in yours too. So, because God uses people to help grow our faith, who we spend our time with matters so much. Our goal should be to surround ourselves with wise people, the kind of people who will sharpen us just the way Solomon said. Now, you may be thinking, okay, I get that, but what do I do here? How can I make sure that the right people are actually influencing my life in the right way? Well, I think you can start by doing these 3 things. First, identify the people that you're already spending time with. Who are the friends that you hang out with the most? Who are the people that you listen to? Who are you going to for advice? Who are the people that you know who are influencing your life in a positive way, or maybe even a negative way? You got someone in mind? Think about if those people are encouraging you to be wise, or if they're influencing you to be foolish. Second, identify the people who you know will help you grow. Think about the people you know who are wise. Think about the people you know at school, at home, on your team, at church, in your group, or in your community who live their lives in a way that you want to live your life. Got that person in mind? Even if it's only one person, identify someone you know who might be able to help you connect some of the dots as you grow in your faith. And by the way, your group leader is a great one. Okay, now third, try to get to know that person more. Whoever it is in your life, this week, take one step toward building a closer relationship with them. If it's someone at school, maybe sit with them at lunch or invite them over to hang out at your house. If it's an adult in your life, maybe text them and ask them to talk sometime. And I know that feels scary, but I promise they'll say yes. Why? Because chances are someone in their life once said yes to them. They know how important it is to walk with the wise, and they want to help you do the same in your own life. Now, maybe you're wondering if this means that you can't be friends with someone if they get into trouble a lot or believe different things than you do. Well, let me just be clear. That's not what it means. Of course you can be friends with people who don't think or act or believe the same way that you do. You should be, actually. Maybe they need a friend like you in their life who can help them grow. Or maybe there are great things about who they are that can positively influence your life in other ways. Having friends and people in your life who are different from you can be a really, really great thing. But we need to remember to have strong relationships with people who are wise, who can help us grow in our faith too. God wants your faith to grow. So don't forget to have people in your life who want your faith to grow as well. Remember, people can grow your faith because we all need a little encouragement to connect the dots and grow deeper in our relationship with God. Whether it's a big decision or a painful mess, you want to know that there are people you can send a text message or a DM to, and they're there for you. The good news is, you have a group here at church who can be those people for you. And of course, your group leader is there to be a wise person that you might need in your corner as you explore this whole faith thing together. They care about you so much. So, I hope you'll start sharing with them this week.
Okay.
You're back.
That was great.
You're back.
I feel like that's such a good lesson because like in our lives when we're older, I think community is a big thing for both of our lives.
Huge.
Like having those godly friends like in church, like people who are able to motivate you and walk you through your spiritual journey is such an important thing to have. And maybe you guys are in a place where you do have a good community around you, or maybe you're in a place where you're like, I'm not so sure, because sometimes the people that we surround ourselves with can really change our personalities. Like you guys may have a rough crowd that you're hanging out with. I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything. Or you could have like a really good crowd that influences you in a positive way. But
I really hope you had those because those are awesome.
great and
Those
awesome.
are awesome. People
Yeah.
who just lift you up.
Yeah.
Just say like encouraging things, positive things, because you're an awesome person. You don't need
Amen.
no negativity around you.
Exactly.
None of that distractions.
Whoa, the Scarborough came out just
Distractions.
But yeah, community is a great thing. So we have a question for you guys, and it is, how do you know if someone is a positive influence in your life? That's a
tough one.
that is a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Because sometimes you don't always know. Some people may think that they're in a group that's like, oh yeah, this is a good group, but sometimes we don't know. So how do you?
I feel like the way how you determine it is, I think you wait. You wait because like you create new friends, but with that new friend you don't know who that person actually is, right? Until you build that relationship. But needless to say is that you still can make friends with other people. It's just you know what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know what's right and wrong.
I would hope so.
I really hope so. If you don't, talk to us.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
We got you.
Talk to us. But I think that's one way, you can really think, is he a good influence? Is he a bad influence? Is that person really good in my life or bad in my life?
Yeah. And it's a good thing that you said waiting, because sometimes friends fall off.
It's
You
true.
know? Like you can't
I've
just have
lost
an
a
instant
lot of
friendship
friends.
right away. So if you wait and see how the friendship progresses, you can see if this is the right thing for you. That's a good one. Okay. And on to
Question number
our next question. If you could ask one person to help grow your faith, who would that be? I think for myself, I would probably,
I feel like people are saying like Jesus.
Yeah,
in the chat will
that's
be
a
like
good one.
Jesus.
and that's a
Jesus.
good one. You could ask Jesus to help, but
I
for
know,
me,
but I feel like that's like an easy answer,
Yeah. So he's basically saying don't answer.
that's it. I feel like you're
Think
putting
of an
that in the
actual
chat.
person.
Yeah.
I think if there's someone like who's older in years than me,
Yeah.
I had a really good mentor. We both did. Pastor Bill,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what Bill is.
a
bomb.
very wise guy.
very, very wise.
Very. And he was someone that I was able to ask faith questions because he was farther along in his journey. And that was actually really beneficial for me because sometimes we can reach out to people and they may be on the same faith walk as you and it might be like a steady incline. But if you go to someone who's a little bit further in their journey, it can actually help quite a bit. So I would say Pastor Bill.
Or even just like, just talking to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Talking to a lot of people who you trust. Who you can trust. It could be us, it could be your parents, it could be your friend, maybe your friend that's a lot older than you, but find someone that you can trust.
Exactly.
It's huge.
There's a lot of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now on to our last question. Whoop, whoop. If you could ask one person you know to help you grow in your faith, what would you ask them? Okay, so if you guys had like one big spiritual question that you might be pondering on, like one of those big life questions to someone that you trust, what would that question be?
But it has to be part of like how to grow in your faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be any
Not just
question.
like, do dinosaurs exist?
Yeah.
Even though that's like, that's a little bit of a debate, but
That's
yeah.
a good question. What would you ask one person? Maybe like a Pastor Jonathan.
Yeah.
What would you ask him? Like, Pastor Jonathan, how can I grow in my faith? What would you ask them? Okay, not that question, but what would you ask them? What would you
That's
ask
a hard
them?
one. I'm trying to think of my own question.
I think what I would ask them, I'm like for example, let's pretend it's Pastor Jonathan. Pastor Jonathan, what do you do to grow in your faith? Because he's up there. He's up there. You want to see what his habits are. Because if he's able to do it and grow in his
Yeah.
faith on a daily basis, he's probably doing something great.
Yeah.
Or doing something right. You know,
Yeah.
probably reading the Bible, probably, you know, mentoring other people. Maybe someone's mentoring him. You know, I would ask him that.
Yeah.
What does he do to grow his faith?
Yeah. Maybe for myself, I would ask, what are some things I can do if I feel far from God?
Oh.
Because sometimes we may feel like our faith, I feel like faith is like a journey. There's
Yo.
like a lot of ups and downs. And sometimes you're in a low period and you're like, what can I do to help increase this? Like when I'm feeling really low and far from God.
That's
'Cause
true.
I feel like that's a real thing that happens quite often, yeah.
So, guys, our challenge: ask someone.
Ooh,
Ask someone, because they'll help you.
Yeah.
They'll give you advice.
yeah.
But remember, ask someone that you trust.
It could even be us.
It can be us.
Yeah.
It could be Leader Steph.
Yeah,
Maybe Leader Abigail.
yeah.
You know,
We got y'all.
ask them. Ask us.
We're here.
We're here. We're here.
But that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Beautiful.
We're gonna pray. You guys can put your prayer requests down in the chat. We'll be trying to keep note of those, and then we could be praying for you throughout this week. So do that, and I will take us through a prayer.
All right.
Dear Jesus, thank you for today, God, and thank you for this lesson about community. I just pray that we continue to see who we're hanging out with and that we're able to build a community where we can uplift each other and we can help each other through hard times, and that it's just a positive one that we're around. So I pray that for all of us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you
Next
week.
Or come on Wednesday. Come on Wednesday.
We're there too, so
We're here. Ask us questions.
Yeah.
Come on Wednesday. We'll be here. All right, friends.
Adios.
Bye. Take care.